Why, hello everybody, Dark Phoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Kaiserreich, Legacy of the Weltkrieg, as the Soviet Republic. This is, in case you have somehow not realized this, the Hearts of Iron 4 version of the mod. And we are playing as Russia into the Soviet Republic. Last time we left off, I had just finished up a coup to establish the Soviets, and then another coup to get the Don Kuban Union as part of my country, and yet another one to get the Alash Order, who were formerly my puppet, who broke away when we had all our big economic problems as part of my country. And we're now at war with Turkestan. By the way, I should mention, when I loaded up this game, something very unusual happened, and I don't quite know if this is a bug, or it's meant to be like this, or what, but when I loaded up the game, and I didn't even unpause or everything, which if you don't believe me, you can check the end date of last time, and the start date of this time. But Georgia and Azerbaijan have declared war on me, which makes absolutely no goddamn sense to me. They declared the war, which is really bizarre, especially considering the fact they have a pathetic number of troops, and they were both guaranteed by Germany, so I was just going to have to wait and let things play out and wasn't going to be able to do anything about them. But they've gone to war with me. So I can't say I'm too unhappy about that. I can just invade the two of them and take them over. I would be perfectly happy to take advantage of this, so get your battle plans on the go. And over here, we're slowly pushing into Turkestan. Even though they don't have a lot of divisions, they have been able to hold me off fairly effectively thus far. Which is why I'm on the fastest speed, because things aren't happening too quickly right now. We need to start pushing a little more over here. You can help out with that. And I will now unpause the game, and things can start happening. Mainly over here, where Georgia and Azerbaijan will basically melt. Thank you, by the way, guys, for being colossal dumbasses. I appreciate your stupidity. It really is quite nice that you are so stupid as to attack me. I mean, they could have just sat around and had their guarantee of independence, and I wouldn't have been able to attack any of them until something had been done about Germany. But no, instead they decided to declare war on me, thus giving me perfect justification to crush their useless asses. Which is exactly what I am going to do. Have fun not existing. Have fun not fucking existing, idiots. Honestly, I love Hearts of Iron 4, I really do, and just because of the fact that I don't need a degree in astrophysics to play it, I do kind of prefer it to Hearts of Iron 3. It would appear there's a little bit of pushback coming over there. That's annoying. Mexico has joined the Third International. I suppose that's vaguely interesting. But for now, we're just focused on killing these guys. We have 5 divisions there doing bugger all. Let's fix that. Same with you guys. Same with you guys. The rest of you and do your redeployment shit. You can attack over there. And over here, I'm just kind of leaving everyone to their own devices. But how about you help with there and finish it faster? Because with Turkestan, we've basically got this. They're not in any position to actually push back on us, but we don't need you doing that. Just take their capital. Turkestan's basically screwed now, but unfortunately it's going to take a little while because we still have to mop up what's left of them, and they're not about to just roll over and let us win or anything. As nice as it would be if they were to do that, it ain't happening. Over here, that part of Georgia has been taken, so we can start pushing into their core territories now. Apparently these guys don't have a battle plan in place. How did that happen, really? No battle plan. Well, whatever. Just throw yourselves at the enemy and hope for the best. Clearly the most adequate battle plan is to just throw superior numbers at the enemy. It's the plan that I make use of the most often, so it must be doing something right. What with how often I use the damn plan. And let's just speed that one up by throwing a few more bodies at them. Finish them off. Finish them off. You keep pushing. How are we for Turkestan? We still gotta get to their capital before they'll capitulate, I think. And that's a decent distance away. Everyone can just keep pushing the front line, I guess. Georgia, or Azerbaijan, is probably going to fall pretty soon, though. Probably Azerbaijan, seeing as we're pushing on their capital right now. And they will likely fall once their capital does. Or once one victory point after that does. Let's check again. Yeah, Azerbaijan is going to fall. Now we have their capital. That's Azerbaijan surrendering? I will take all your territory? That's some nice oil places to have. And a bit more industry. Georgia's busy doing their occupation mess on our territory, but we don't have to worry about that, really. Let's see. Remembering the death of Lenin again. That's basically just a yearly event that gives us stability, by the way. The integration of Azerbaijan. The areas of the former state of Azerbaijan are now firmly integrated into our growing socialist motherland. Great. We gain cores on all that land, but lose a little bit of stability. Just because, for some reason, we become less stable for integrating. I don't know. I think, and I'm not sure about that, but I think that the reasoning behind it is just to nerf Russia a little bit, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is still the case, but you used to lose some industrial capacity when you expanded into them. Because if you went around conquering everything, retaking everything that used to be part of the Russian Empire, then you would just be super OP, and I think this sort of thing is one way of balancing that. Azerbaijan regained. The Azeri were brought into the Soviet fold, and we can now continue with our Caucasian expansion. Hoorah! We get 5% stability, so we just regained what we lost plus a little, and this triggers the Caucasian expansion event. And apparently Madrid has fallen to the Carlists, who, I should mention this, but I don't actually know what the Carlists are. I think, if I remember right, they're basically another branch of the Spanish royal family that want their candidate on the throne, or something to that effect, but I don't know for sure. I'm not totally sure about what the Carlists are. But let's continue on mopping up with Turkestan over here. Even if some of these attacks don't actually accomplish what we're doing, it ties up enemy forces, which is as good as any actual successful offensive in my mind. Georgia should be over and done with soon. Let's see. The seize the means of production national focus is done. With government support, workers throughout the country rise up against their employers and demand collective ownership over the means of production. Great news. Now, I'll upgrade some old factories to get more civilian and military factories. I want to move down a little bit towards industrial army, just for that production output bonus. Now we'll upgrade old factories. Despite years of capitalist economic policies, the industry is still in a state of disrepair and technological disadvantage. It is time we make an effort to modernize the economy. We'll do that next, and we have a couple of factories we can assign. I'm still kind of struggling for infantry equipment most of all, so that's where both of them go. Now, how are you doing, Georgia? Well, you're about to fall. And your capital is next, so I think that's your ultimate defeat. Let's see. Yeah, they're down to 1%, so they can fall now. Called it. Goodbye, Georgia. I'll be taking all your land now, so enjoy not existing. I hear it's fun. The only country currently left in the region is Armenia. So I'm going to now assign this army to the front line on Armenia, and if they don't fold to us in what's inevitably going to be an event that pops up soon, then we'll deal with them the old-fashioned way. Next, park a few troops on the Iranian border. I don't think it's actually going to be necessary to do anything with Iran, but I'd like to have the option, just in case. Let's see here. What do I want to use this next slot of dockyards for? Because I think we're producing enough convoys right now. I don't really need more for that. Submarines, I guess, for the time being. of submarine hull. I don't really think I'm gonna variant that any. But I should probably tell it where to bloody spawn. Just so they don't get that wrong. Just grab one of our random fleets, I guess. It's not like the Navy matters overly much for us, because we are a very land-focused nation. Definitely something to keep in mind, so it's not going to be a whole lot of naval play involved, so no real need to worry about that. Georgia regained. The Georgians were brought into the Soviet fold, and we can now continue with our Caucasian even, expansion. Hoorah! 5 stability, and we get that event that we got before, or some such. Now, let's put those factories into infantry production. And it looks like we're going to need some more in support equipment. I'm starting to need that for reinforcement, so my last factory can go there. We also need quite a bit of manpower for reinforcement. Hopefully the fact that we're picking up some more of our core territories will give us a bit more manpower to play around with. And fix that particular shortcoming sometime soon. For now, we just keep on attacking. Try and keep up the pressure on Turkestan. Our forces here are about to take their capital and one more victory point. Hopefully this makes them surrender, or at the very least start having second thoughts about being involved in a war with us. Peru just annexed Ecuador. I do not care. If it's not one of my immediate neighbors or Germany, I honestly don't give a crap right now. These forces have been cut off, though. That's unfortunate. Now, we have that. But we still need to reduce them a bunch. I may end up losing this if we can't retake anything around here. I'm going to try to open up a gap there again so that we can supply those forces. That's going to be fairly important. But every other front has now been closed. Our factory upgrades we've got going on right now. Doesn't appear that we can do anything in Caucasus expansion through events right now, so I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. And go for taking a claimed state. Less political power, though it doesn't last nearly as long. Not that that's really my concern right now, although we are a little short of political power. A couple more factories in that. And keep attacking these guys. Now, break through there. And these guys can be supplied then. But let's reduce our speed down a little bit. That way we can keep an eye on how things are going. I have a little bit of a problem with some resistance. Or, no, that's just supplies being low. My bad. The hell? Who did I have selected during that? Nobody overly important, it seems. Fortunate, I can just keep up my attacks here. That way. You guys take something else. And then if we can seize that, I am hopeful we can open up a little supply line and keep these troops from being crushed to ribbons. But I wouldn't put money on it, quite frankly. What the hell are you guys doing attacking? Just attack over there, into that province. Stop attacking for now. Those guys will arrive soon. We'll open up that supply line and they'll be able to live. Hopefully things work out that way. Again, would not put money on it. But it would be real nice. How about you just do that instead? Help me out. And apparently I can't queue up what you should do after the battle. Gibraltar has fallen into the Carlists. Apparently the Carlists are in possession of the Spanish colonies now. They managed to take Gibraltar. Let's see. Does the Kingdom of Spain even exist anymore? No, it does not. This is purely a war between the CNT-FAI and the Carlists now. So, we'll see how that unfolds. And at the same time, we have a little civil war over in the Princely Federation. These guys, the Mysore state, have decided to declare war on the Princely Federation. If we're just judging on how much territory everyone has, I don't think their chances are all that great. Still, I am rooting for them. You go help out with that. And over here, finish up that little pocket of forces. And then you can move on to assisting elsewhere. This has not been a very clean or pleasant war, let's be honest. It's literally just been me wearing them down by throwing endless waves of conscripts at the enemy. The traditional way that I tend to play Russia or China in any grand strategy game. To quote a joke that I've made a few times before, we have reserves, attack! We have more reserves, attack again! That's generally how I play these games with this sort of nation. So you shouldn't expect anything involving a lot of finesse. Just generally, I throw troops at my enemy until they die. And we got that Caucasus event that I was talking about, while I'm in the middle of fabricating a claim. Well, if you can give me a claim early, I don't mind. Let us consider the political situation and choose our next steps accordingly. Approaching Armenia. Let's see. Georgia now within our sphere of influence, we can try to gain control over Armenia. The problem is the watchful eye of the Ottoman Empire over this strategically important land. How should we go about this? Actually, no. The Ottomans have no relationship to them whatsoever, so they don't matter. I am going to... Well, last time we tried demanding submission with Georgia. That just led to a mass of German guarantees. I'm not going to risk it. We'll just invade. We can also cancel our justification. And I think we're moving into your country, Armenia. We like the look of it. That's really all this is. We like the look of your country, and we want to move in. So, you guys have fun with that. I don't even need to supervise it. We can just crush our friends over here. You guys move over there to help their asses out, please. We've lost a bunch of their stuff, annoyingly enough, so this war is going to take a little longer than we would like. Those guys are strategically redeploying to help out. But over there it's still holding on, despite the fact that everywhere else these bastards are practically dead. But, unfortunately, Turkestan doesn't seem to feel up to actually losing properly. One of our airplane research is finished. I'll pick up tactical bomber next, just on the off chance we need the damn thing. I don't need war propaganda. That is utterly unnecessary. And we will have Armenia's capital very shortly. So we got the same damn event again. That is very stupid. There's an Armenian capitulation. Is that seriously going to act like it's actually the same war rather than just two wars being fought at the same time? Gotta be honest, that is just extremely dumb. Oh, it was just a little bit of a time delay. Well, I'll take all of Armenia then. Those guys, they can just man the border with the Ottoman Empire. For the moment, until I need them elsewhere. I very much doubt there's actual threat in terms of the border with the Ottomans, but you never can tell with this stuff. Oh, there's Egypt declaring war on the Ottomans, so there goes any potential threat there was from the Ottomans. Who are they actually fighting? Let's just see that out of interest. Egypt, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so long, Ottomans. Been nice knowing you. Actually, no it hasn't, but thank you for letting me take Armenia without complaining about it. I do appreciate some free territory, which is effectively what that was. Now, rebellion in Yemen. So Yemen is basically just seceded from the Ottoman Empire because they were previously one of its puppet states. Armenia has been regained. The Armenians were brought into the Soviet fold, and we can now continue with our Caucasus expansion. There is no more Caucasus expansion to do. And we've already integrated Georgia, game. Come on. That is just dumb. What gives us that event for something we have already done, honestly. Mashriki, or Mashrik even, has declared war on the Ottoman Empire. That's a little bit of their territory down near Damascus and Jerusalem that revolted and then decided to team up with the people currently beating their asses. Can't say I blame them for that. Does seem to make sense as an approach. And we're currently busy slamming Turkestan down here. They're winning in some places, but it's not going to last. They're winning, I mean. Time being... What the hell just happened? Albania joined some generic alliance. That's nice. You have fun now, Albania. And it would appear we are getting our butts kicked by a mere 2 divisions over there. Can we not? I would really like to keep that. So, moving over here. And then, I think we'll busy ourselves with kicking your butts. So that we can push these guys back at long freaking last. And I'm going to have you halt that attack. Something I should have done a long while ago. You can attack there. If nothing else, hold them in place. Yemen has now declared war on the Ottoman Empire. So they went from being their puppet state to attacking them in a war to take their territory. Nice. And how did Saudi Arabia get that little piece of disconnected territory? Did they actually conquer it? Or did it just get occupied during an event or something? Because I know in one of the earlier versions of the mod, there was a set of events where Egypt and Saudi Arabia and some other countries just randomly got tiny pockets of territory automatically occupied once the war started because of popular uprisings and things. But I don't know if that's still in the game or not. It could very well have been removed. Some random people in South America have decided to stop killing each other. We won that fight over there. That city is going to be ours now. So let's help out with that one, so we can then help out with everything else. We continue just smashing into these guys. And we're about to lose a bit of territory. Go there. They won't be able to make it in time, probably, but hopefully they can retake it, at the very least. Actually, just hold. Not. I was going to tell them to just hold, but if you idiots are going to move in like that, then I think not. There's someone retreating over there. Now, 2 military factories to assign. Both can go there. We're approaching victory, but we still need another 27% in our favor to be able to make them surrender, which may take a bit of time. You guys just push down a little. Let's see if we can't get that territory off them. Oh, they have reinforcements, do they? Just help out over there. Find the one person in this group who's not attacking. There. Hopefully we win over there and that drives them off. Pretty slow-moving war, I agree. Just because of how grindy it's turned out to be. So while we're waiting, let's have a look at how things are going over in Germany. As was the case last time, the Netherlands have joined up with Germany. And we had a coup over in the Union of Britain, and the Royalists have taken it over once again. That's unfortunate. Concentrated Industry Level 2 is finished. I think we should do some research. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little bit of real life stuff I had to deal with. So, let's get back to smashing their faces in, I think. Or trying to, at any rate. how successful I'm going to be at the Operation Smashing Turkestan's face is a matter of some debate, of course. But I'm hoping for some version of success. For one thing, just because we are so close to winning here, it would be a shame to lose now. It really would be. I mean, I have a couple of other nearby armies I could just throw in if we need some extra help. But I would rather not have to. Let's see. Peace deal between Argentina and Chile. That's nice, I suppose, but I don't really care. Let's pound their faces in over there. These two are just spreading out. Lots some more places occupied. Still kind of a ways from actual victory, unfortunately. But at the same time, we're only about 2 provinces away from their current capital. You guys, hold them in place for me. You help them. Then we'll try and do a little fancy maneuver stuff. Actually, no, we'll just take the capital and leave it at that, rather than trying to occupy some other provinces at the same time. There's 10 stability for the fact that we own the Caucasus now. Thank you for that, game. I do appreciate it. After we take their capital, they need another 5% occupied before they're willing to give it up. They don't have a lot else in the ways of major victory points or anything, though. We finished upgrading old factories, so let's build new ones. That's 4 factories. I'll put 2 more into support equipment and 2 more into artillery. And we'll go from there. With another 3 being added to it. All into infantry equipment. Because that's what we need the most of. And when it comes to reinforcing our army, we need infantry equipment. Start smashing them up a bit there. Let's see. Are you fucking kidding me? We managed to get isolated. Again. This is ridiculous. But at least if we lose that, it's only 1 division. Before, it would have been 5. But now, all of you start smashing their faces in, and get some help from the trapped divisions. The Mashriki Kingdom has capitulated. It's down in Ottoman territory, yes? Pretty sure. Apparently my nice knowing you Ottomans might have been a touch premature, as it looks like they're actually pushing back. Hopefully they managed to do so successfully. The fuck? I did not order you to go to such ridiculous extremes. You couples can attack there. See if you can't break those idiots. And over here we'll continue to advance and smash them into 1,000 pieces. So sorry, but you're not going to be destroying those forces now. The Princely Federation won its civil war, as I knew they would. Now you move down, support them, and we can take that one province. No, I did not say to attack, you idiot. Then again, maybe we should just attack all together. Now that I can take that and push them back a bit, rather than trying to launch attacks elsewhere and just getting in over my head as we lose some other territory. But there goes their capital again. Colossal inconvenience that the loss of that is. You guys move in over there. And hopefully we can hit some of those people once we secure the area. No. Attack them instead. Attack them. Dear Lord, this has been a pretty long-lasting war, which I'm a little embarrassed by how long it's taken to subdue fricking Turkestan. But on the plus side, we're getting pretty close to it being over. Maybe once I take that city, we can get close to victory again. Apparently losing that capital didn't cost us as much as I thought it would. It was about 5% above before, now it's 20%. Not bad, really. Now, just take this place. You two attack. The fuck just happened? That should fall soon. I think they're probably pretty close to being out of morale. Not much chance of Turkestan pulling a win out of this one, really. Down to 29%. Now everyone moves up to the front lines, and they are fucked. They are really fucked. Haha. Unfortunately for them, defeat is inevitable. It's just a question of how long it's going to take to reach that defeat. Just throw a few more divisions into that fight. And that one. And every other battle that we're currently fighting. Because that is my strategy for winning any war in this game. Just throw more numbers at the enemy. Konstantin Rokossovsky has fallen ill. In his service to the nation, it seems General Rossovsky has pushed himself too far. As a result of the bad climate in their operational area, the general has now fallen ill, and will likely need some time to recover. Till he gets well, he will not be performing at his usual level. I don't actually know what sick does as it happens. I've had a handful of generals get sick before, but I've never really noticed any significant changes in their performance or anything, so either it's not notable or I'm really bad at noticing it. I'm not sure. Throw them into the fight. And you can attack as well. Approaching 90%. Let's check this again. Just to get an update. We've gone down a whole 1% from the last time I checked. What a difference. What a difference. Truly. They're splitting up, and we just lost a province. Or a city, probably. Be more likely. Time to open a new atheist museum. This fight should be over in not too long. Alright, how long are you gonna hold out for? Not very, as it turns out. But, dear God, this war with Turkestan has been a bit of a nightmare. Not because it's particularly difficult, just because they have a tendency to hold out for a long time, I'm noticing. And we've won it now. But I had to occupy basically their whole country to win, so that wasn't especially fun. Good night, Turkestan. Fortunately, we didn't actually lose any divisions. So, now, we're going to get ready to invade Afghanistan. What could possibly go wrong, right? I mean, nothing's ever gone wrong with invading Afghanistan as the Soviets, clearly. Why would you ever think that? Why would you think something would go wrong with Russia invading Afghanistan? Really? What a silly idea. What a silly move, honestly. Also, we're going to send some support to the CSA. Let's actually check over in America. Africa. It's pretty even between the three factions at the moment, actually. The Pacific states got Alaska, though. Let's actually check the whole thing with the Canadian focus tree with regards to the American Civil War. Yeah, I don't actually know if they still have the option to occupy Alaska and occupy New England. They had that in one of the earlier versions of the mod, but I'm not sure if it's still in existence. That particular option. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? But let's start fabricating a claim on Afghanistan. Because, as I said, what could possibly go wrong? It'll be fine. We're just invading Afghanistan, after all. It's just those pansy-ass Afghans. They're no real threat. Honestly. Which reminds me of something, and we're at 100% stability. Nice. That reminds me of something that I found myself thinking in the past, because of this one post the Hearts of Iron 4 developers put about things they'd like to do in the future, and one of the things on that that I would really like is, it was something about having occupation and resistance not be tied to being at war. So you could still have partisan resistance when you're at peace, basically. Is what I'm saying. And I kind of like that idea because it always strikes me as a little bit odd. I'll get back to that in a second. We have an event. Colonial reform in Middle Africa. For years, the elaborate web of German colonies in Central Africa has proven to be an enigma to many outside observers. We'll acknowledge the inner workings of this opaque heart of darkness has increased recently due to transparency and public relations drives by the reform group currently running the colony. Appears that the reform group has made the bold decision to overhaul Middle Africa's Byzantine system of rule dominated by colonies, puppet kingdoms, and former British territories. Already, plans have been set out for establishing autonomous kingdoms for loyal African leaders under German stewardship, with future action plan for further decentralization. In only a few short years, Africa's fate has changed forever. The Dark Continent is now a tad brighter. What has that actually done, though? I'm not clear on what it has done. Well, it's nothing to do with Portugal or anything. They've not started splitting up Middle Africa or anything, it doesn't seem like. I'm not really sure what this is, quite frankly. That's a little bit baffling. Let's see. For now, we'll just sit around and wait for our claim on Afghanistan to finish so I can attack them. July is when that'll be done. In the meantime, we can just replenish manpower. We'll be getting some more territories. some manpower out of that. And once Turkestan is actually integrated, we should have a bit more manpower, because these will stop being colony states and become core territories, which will certainly be very nice. But for the time being, we have other matters to deal with. And I have some factories to build. Which, once that finishes, I can get an industrial army and then start either moving down that other tree or going after someone else. We have Eastern security if I want to secure control of Mongolia and start going after Trans-Amur. And there's been a development in the Spanish Civil War. Barcelona has fallen. Things aren't looking too good for communist Spain, honestly. But pocket defense is now done. I'm going to continue down with mass assault doctrine. Forgot the name for a second there. By offering relatively light resistance and temporarily giving ground, we can trade space for time and allow attacking forces to exhaust themselves before counterattacking. Increase to our entrenchment and increase to leg infantry organization. I could spend 100 of our army experience to make it happen a little faster. Don't think I'm going to, though. Now, how's our reinforcement looking? We need about 46,000 infantry equipment. Fortunately, we don't seem to need any manpower for reinforcement right now. At the moment, at least, which is kind of nice. How long off is this? Still the same. July. Build new factories is done. I'll go for industrial army now, which will just give us some really nice bonuses. And let's see here. We'll start pumping out some basic fighters, just so that we can be able to shoot down enemy bombers in future. And that's where I will put the rest of my factories at the moment. Going to need a bit of rubber for now. I'll bite my tongue and trade with Germany a bit, I guess. We won't need it forever, fortunately. Good, it is actually going through. As I was saying, we won't need to trade for Germany forever, because when I go down this other tree for industry, we'll eventually get to this. That will just give us a bunch of resources and everything. And that should overcome that need. Though I'm probably going to need more of that eventually, which will un-overcome it. Not the best outcome, but can't really do much about it. Armenia has now actually been integrated, and an atheist museum has been opened. Looks like The Ottomans have gone a little stalematey here. They're not really advancing into any of their enemies, but the reverse is also true. So, a little bit of a stalemate situation going on at the moment, it looks like. Oh, I stand corrected. They just advanced a little bit into Saudi Arabia. But we still have to wait for July to use that claim. Since, as far as I'm aware, we don't have anything in the foreign relations anything that will let me go to war with Afghanistan. It's just one of those countries we don't have that sort of thing with. And I'm contemplating whether or not to do Eastern security. And if I do, I'll probably steer away from doing Transimor at the moment. Hang on a sec. Peace deal with the Ottomans and Yemen. Looks like. Probably because they've just been fighting that for so long it was kind of pointless. Now there's one more factory I can assign. We'll put it down, making more fighters. As I was saying, I'm probably going to veer away from going after Transimur in the immediate future, even if I do go down the eastern route in my focus tree. For a couple of reasons. Not the fact that it's a puppet of Japan. We have a way to potentially move in and take it over without going to war with the Japanese. No. The problem is actually not their puppet of Japan status. The problem is the fact that it's pretty likely, if I go in and take over Transimor, Japan is going to go to war with me in response after the fact, because if you get too close to them in terms of taking over Transimor, Japan has a tendency to go to war with you as Soviet Russia. They've done it all but one time that I played a Soviet game in Kaiserreich, so I think it's pretty safe to say that is all but guaranteed. I didn't notice this before. Apparently the AOG is an ally of Germany's, but not a puppet. Interesting. I guess they must have changed that recently, because every time I've played Kaiserreich, the AOG was a puppet. That or there was some event that happened in Germany, which made things like that. It's entirely possible, I suppose. A new collective is formed. Okay. That's one free military factory. Now, how's our reinforcement coming along? Upgrading is doing pretty well, as is reinforcing. We should be fully reinforced in not too long. Maybe not before we attack Afghanistan, but pretty soon after we finish beating the crap out of them, most likely. Let's see. 1st of July. I have to keep checking that, because I forget half the time. 1st of July. Just coming up in a few months on when we are going to be able to attack the Afghanistani. Oh my god, I can't believe I just called them the Afghanistani. That just sounds so dumb. And it's looking like Tripolitania is going to give the Ottomans a win over their enemies here. They're going to be giving the Ottomans control of the crossing between their puppets' territory and their own over here in northern Egypt. They're certainly going to be pretty happy about that. Solidify control, though. What's that actually going to do? It just improves our party popularity in exchange for less factory output and stuff. Wait a second, why the hell am I still on early mobilization? Take us up to partial mobilization. That, at least, we have more of a gain in everything. Definitely worth it. Just more gains in everything. There is no need for us to be stuck on what we were before, I don't think. Let's see, for the time being, nothing was research, and I don't think we're probably not going to build a very big fleet at any point. Though I should be researching better tanks, just to get us moving along that line, and so that I can have some decent tanks on my side. Let's see. A little bit more artillery, I guess. Can never hurt to have more artillery. Big guns are best guns, after all. Norway has just joined the Entente. Interesting. Totals in the Bartia Commune. Yeah, Norway has joined the Entente. I wonder what the Entente is actually going to do in this game, because they don't have to launch a cross-Atlantic invasion to take back the British Isles anymore. The UK flipped thanks to a coup. So they don't have to worry about that. I wonder what they're going to do. That'll be interesting to see. What Canada and the rest of the Entente decides to do. I mean, the French Republic will probably want to take back the Commune of France at some point, so I suppose they might decide to help each other out with that. But I'm not really sure. That's totally a new one to me, seeing them actually flip their government like that. It's not something I ever see. But for the time being, we're just going to wait on Afghanistan so I can fabricate that claim and go to war with them. After that, It's a choice between invading Iran or invading Mongolia on what I want to do next. Iran or Mongolia after we finish up with Afghanistan. That is going to be my choice. And I'm not sure which we'll end up going with. We're also kind of low on manpower because of all these recent wars. And reinforcements coming along nicely, fortunately enough. Industrial Army will be finished soon. Some more bonuses to our production will certainly be nice, seeing as we're going to have to take on Germany at some stage. Even though it will almost certainly be happening while they're fighting France or recovering from fighting France. Let's see. Do I go down this other route? Or just hold off on that? Do some of this stuff? That's the question. I think we'll actually work some more on the government thing here. Socialist internationalism next. We'll work a bit on the government politics and move down this a touch, including justifying wars faster, extra research speed, an extra slot, more stability, which doesn't really matter right now, and that sort of thing. Washington, D.C. has fallen. Okay. Let's see. Apparently it's fallen to... Yeah, it's the Pacific States of America have taken Washington. They must have taken some transports all the way around South America to the other side in order to do a naval invasion. Wow. Crazy. I didn't even think the AI was capable of doing that kind of naval invasion. That's really cool. That they can actually figure out how to take their boats and go all the way around South America and over here and invade by sea. That's neat. But they're not going to be keeping Washington. As you can see, the CSA has already taken you off them. Liberia has made peace with everyone. Apparently they were all at war with Liberia until recently. Probably the only reason they were at war with Liberia for so long without making peace is because they forgot who Liberia was. Because, to quote a source from Dave Let's Play from earlier on, fuck off Liberia, stop pretending you're important. And we have a Dominionist victory in South Africa. After a contentious election which has divided the Union of South Africa in two, the Dominion Party, led by General Jan Christen Smuts, has declared victory, though with the slimmest of majorities. He is in the country's parliament. Voting in South Africa is restricted mainly to whites, split between the Afrikaners in the north and the British in the south. With the British vehemently supporting Smuts, they were able to achieve victory. Unrest in the Afrikaner areas is on the rise, however, particularly among those who fear Dominion plans for a reapproachment with the Entente, and many are predicting the country will fall to violence or even civil war before long. Yeah, and that wouldn't surprise me. South Africa tends to enjoy civil wars. I don't think I've ever actually seen a game where South Africa didn't have a civil war over their government and futures and stuff. They just seem to really love civil wars. I don't know what it is. Maybe they look at Spain and America and are just jealous and go, hey, I want to have one of those civil wars. That looks really cool. Maybe they do that. I really do not know. I really don't know. The Ottomans have made peace. Let's see how this turned out. Well, they annexed Egypt. They annexed the Mashriki Kingdom. Did they actually... Oh, they're still at war with Iran, so... The Ottoman Empire could very well go on to include Iran in this timeline. We'll have to wait and see, but Egypt and that rebellious state down there have now gone on to be included into the Ottoman Empire by force. We'll see what happens with Iran. And I'm going to take this opportunity to save the game. I had a little stutter just now, and as excellent as Kaiserreich is, it's still a mod, and it's still in alpha, even if it is the 0.8.6 version now. So, I want to avoid any crashes. I do get crashes in Kaiserreich every now and then. May as well be careful and actually save the game, right? Afghanistan. We'll very shortly be able to do that. And the fall of Burgos. Reports from Burgos confirm the Carlists. Confirm the Carlist. That should be Carlists. Kaiserreich developers, you forgot the S. Temporary capital has been captured by advancing anarcho-Spanish troops after skirmishes in the hilly countryside. Carlist forces put up stiff resistance, hoping to delay the enemy forces, but were eventually beaten back. Castillans fleeing north to the Basque coast tearfully describe seeing their homeland burning and CNT FAI soldiers even committing atrocities on their own people. Rumors state King Javier was escorted out with the flow of refugees by the Carlist militia, but his destination remains unknown. Many hope Carlist Spain might continue fighting in the Central Plateau to defend their homes from the crush of the syndicalist invasion. And the Carlists hope to come back from this? Probably not. Probably not. That's their capital, and if you look at this, they are just one little province away from having their country literally split in half. So, we'll see how long the Carlists continue existing for. Another atheist museum has been opened, but we're now at the point where that's not really getting us anything because we're at 100% stability. Though I imagine once our stability starts dropping again, that will be fairly good to have, and we'll be glad for it then. But now we'll let them carry on with their civil war on their own. I will want to tend to Afghanistan once that fabrication finishes next month. Guatemala has declared war on Nicaragua. That's nice. And Hawaii has joined the Entente. Oh, that's right. I always forget that the American Civil War involves Hawaiian secession. But that is a thing that happens. Bulgaria also made peace with Serbia. So, it looks like that whole war down in the Balkans ended in a white peace, which is probably the best any of them could hope for, given how things were going. And it looks vaguely like Iran is pushing back against the Ottomans. I don't know that the Ottomans are going to win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Iran... sorry, the Ottomans? I meant Iran. I don't know that the Ottomans are actually going to be defeated by Iran, but I wouldn't be surprised if Iran managed to force the Ottomans to accept a white peace or something. Let's see. The RDP take power in Bulgaria, following their overwhelming loss in the Balkan War against the powerful Belgrade Pact. It seems as though the issue of selecting a new government was a hot debate within Bulgaria. As it stood, the Bulgarian people themselves had three candidates who would lead the nation: the Liberal Radical Democrat and Broad Socialist parties, and the conservative Bulgarian Agrarian National Union, led by Alexander Stambolitsky. In the end, it seems as though the RDP were effectively able to seize power and cement their reign in Bulgaria. Well, we'll see where that goes, but given our distance from them, until I start taking over in the Balkans or something, it's not really going to matter to me. Guatemala declares war on Honduras, as per usual. First of July. Mechanical computing research is done. Let's move down on a level and get better at mechanical computing. And yes. Huh. How did that happen? Looks like the Ottomans managed to get a unit right over there and are pushing back a little. Iran. I'm surprised the Iranians haven't made peace or anything, just accepted the border changes. Let's see. Got a couple of events here. Our justification for conquering Afghanistan has been finished. It's the end of the Spanish Civil War. And the CNT-FAI has won. For good or ill, the Spanish Civil War is now over. The General Staff have reported that they learned many valuable lessons regarding the nature of modern warfare over the course of the conflict. We get a bunch of army experience and political power, and they lose the Soviet assistance national spirit. And trust me, this is good, because I'm hoping that will balance out the fact that the Commune of France will not have the Union of Britain's assistance in fighting the Germans. So, having Spain on their side, I'm hoping that will let them balance it out and at least last a decent amount of time and bottle them up. Because we're not going to be able to jump on Germany right when the war kicks off, I don't think. We'll need to build up our forces a bunch. And that should give us some time to do that. So now, let's immediately declare our war against Afghanistan. Both of you jump on in, and I'll drop us down in speed a bit. They can just be crushed as we advance on into Afghanistan and take all their lands. Because we like the looks of the place, and I think we'll move in. As you do, right? This isn't a war, it's us just liking how things look and deciding we'll move in. And as I predicted, rebellion in South Africa. I'm not even a little bit surprised by this. They always seem to do that. And just go and rebel and shit. And Uruguay wins the World Cup. Definitely the most important thing going on right now. Not the civil war in freaking South Africa. Their recent victory in the South African 1938 elections, the Dominion Party is confident it could implement its sweeping changes to the country's governmental systems in a planned federation, regardless of protests from the Afrikaner provinces of Transvaal and the Oranje Free State. Today, that confidence was proven ill-founded, as leaders in Pretoria and Bloemfontein declared their secession from the Union, and the creation of the Zuid-Afrikanische Republiek. Battle lines have already been drawn, splitting the country in two, as a new Boer War has broken out to determine South Africa's path once and for all. Well, we'll see how that goes, but to be perfectly honest, a civil war in South Africa does not concern me. I'm interested in the things that are going on my borders and making sure we reconquer our old lands, but I don't really care about South Africa's civil war. It's interesting and something to look at sometimes, but not really worth consideration. We have no bloody theorists. Great. I will take Mr. Air Superiority in that, though. And we can just crush these guys. This is the case before. And probably push to Kabul fairly fast. Another military factory. Put that one in there. Some of our guys will move in back here as we keep the attack up. I'll speed it up just so things tick along at a reasonable pace, I think. Socialism, internationalism is done. World revolution now, please. Apparently that attack over there was a failure. Turkestan has finally been integrated. So we should get a bit of manpower from having their territories back as core territories rather than just colonies. And let's get a few attacks going on. Over there. See if we can't break those guys fast. That's another division down. And we're already right next to their capital, so here's to hoping for a nice fast war. Which I think we will have gotten, actually. We'll kill off those guys, and then we can attack Kabul. That's the plan, anyways. But we all know what they say about plans and first contact, right? It generally doesn't work out that way. Except when you don't want it to. As unfortunate as that is. There's some more factories. And the end of a couple of wars in the Americas. We'll have fun with that. No, you guys can get over there. Help me out with winning that fight, I think. What? Attack over there instead, please. And keep on going with that. I'll take another collective, sure. Now we can attack there. Free Liberia has joined the International. So Liberia flipped to being communist, eh? Nice. The more communist countries we have in the world, the better. Especially when it comes to the inevitable war with Germany. Not that there's going to be a massive amount of assistance to be had from a good chunk of them, but still. And yes, Iran is doing a nice job pushing them back. Very nice indeed. Just attack there, please. And finish them off. Hopefully. Anyhow. Now. Quite a bit of troops there. You can attack that. You all can attack in those places. See about pushing them back. What the hell is up with that guy? He's doing a little fucking dance or something? Seriously. Is this Kaiserreich or dance class? Honestly. What the hell is up with those guys? What is going on? I thought this was Kaiserreich, but apparently it's dance classes. God. First of all, you guys attack there. And there. We'll go after their capital next. That border region's about to be seized. Okay. You guys move on the attack over there. Those idiots were trying to stop attack. We have to kill them, push them back. Do anything else. Quit trying to run your asses away. Really. General falling ill again. Lovely. Keep pushing back Afghanistan. Attack there. What the hell? Quit that. You attack as well. I've already carved a pretty good way into Afghanistan. We are making some decent progress, so this war should be over fairly shortly. At least I hope so. Still got a couple of troops that need to arrive. Tank research time. And you can head over there. Help us deal with them. Finish those fellows off. I hope. At the very least start working towards it. World revolution is done. It's united humanity now, I think. One more there, and one more there. Quit running away from the damn battle. Jesus. That is just so freaking annoying. Sorry about that. I'm back now though, so we can get back into things. And you stay there, so they don't get any clever ideas. Doesn't look like we're winning over there somehow. Goddamn Afghanistan. Oh my god. I look away for a few minutes, and Iran is on the verge of collapse. Well done. Well done, Ottomans. Fair play to you, though this is going to make eventually making those guys my puppets a little bit trickier. Oh well. Can't exactly complain about that. Well, I can, it just... I'm not going to. Bunch of attacks over here. Yeah. I hate to say it, but... And there goes Iran. The massive Ottoman Empire. And puppet state of Egypt. Remembering the death of Lenin again, okay? You go on ahead and remember Lenin's death. Yeah, unfortunately in a lot of ways right now, the battle plan AI in Hearts of Iron 4 is not that good. I've expressed this in a few previous series, but unfortunately, I've had it happen before where I tell my guys to stop attacking a certain point, then they immediately start attacking again. Just kind of aggravating because it happens even when they are not. Basically, it happens no matter what level of aggression I have the battle plan set to, and that's just really aggravating. But, just gonna have to put up with it, I guess. What the hell are you doing? Keep up that attack, the lot of you. And it looks like once again, we're going to just have to absolutely carve through their entire nation before we can make them surrender. But it's a much shorter conflict this time. Just because of the fact that Afghanistan is a lot smaller country. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. But we'll be through with them soon enough. And there goes their capital. Oh, damn it. I need another victory point before we can make them surrender, even though we have the damn capital now. How about you guys just attack there instead. And move like that. Ish. That's another dumb thing where I tell them I want to move to a certain location, and they don't realize that I mean to not just attack your way through everything. It's kind of aggravating. It really is. You attack there. But all of you do that. Are you kidding me? Okay, I suppose you can attack that. While they swing around and grab random provinces. Suppose that's fair. Yeah, that wasn't going to get us a win. No chance of it. That right there is unfortunately a Liberty city right now that they still have left. I gotta take that off them, but they really don't want me to, and are just resisting like mad. Not that I blame them, I would do too, if it was me. But because it's them and not me, it's annoying. A commune declares war on the Princely Federation. Okay, that's nice. We'll take you over now. Coup in White Ruthenia, eh? What's this going to result in? Oh, it's a nationalist coup, eh? If that goes through and White Ruthenia secedes, we might have an opportunity to take over the region without need to go to war with Germany. I certainly wouldn't complain. He's taken over. Their coup was successful. Now, what is he going to do? Attempt to separate from Germany? Or just sit around and be content with the status quo? That's the question, is it not? We'll see where things go, I guess. The German Empire has declared war on Lithuania. Interesting. So, Lithuania's tried to break away, and Germany doesn't like that. Unfortunately, we don't have a land border to Lithuania, so I can't just go on in and take it over for myself. Yes, revolt in the Reichspakt. After the fall of the Russian Empire in the Weltkrieg, Germany occupied vast swaths of Eastern Europe, establishing puppet governments across it creating the Reichspakt military alliance. This tightly knit alliance of countries was not meant to last, it seems, as Eastern Europe roared back to action this week with the revolt in the German sphere. The Lithuanians, led by that guy whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce because I would just screw it up horribly, their leader, have declared full independence from Germany, and this has sparked a chain reaction in neighboring countries. Germany has moved in with a military response, but will it be enough to crush the spirit of nationalism? I just love the text thing there. Lithu who? Because so few people know who Lithuania is. But yeah, I think Germany is just going to squish them. They don't have much in the way of a military to actually be able to resist. 3 to 8 divisions. Compared to Germany, who probably has at least 100. Though how many of those are in mainland Germany and how many are in the colonies, I do not know. Still, they have quite a few divisions. Let's work on overrunning these guys. Let's just wipe them out. They're out of supply, so it should be fairly easy. Same thing over here. And that's it for Afghanistan. I'll be having that now. You guys? I'm going to start moving these divisions onto the Mongolian border, I think. We have to start getting into position to do something about Mongolia, who is going to be a problem in the future. So we'll be moving a lot of troops onto the Mongolian border, and I'm preparing for a war with Mongolia next. The Annexation of Afghanistan event. After a long fight with the Afghans, we have launched a full offensive and forced the Afghan army to surrender. Kabul is now in our hands. So we have 2 options. We continue with the occupation. I lose 50 political power, -5 to our stability, and -5 to our war support. Or we establish Afghanistan as a puppet state. To be perfectly honest, with our political power, stability, and war support as they are right now, there's no real drawback to continuing with the occupation. I'm just going to keep hold of Afghanistan. I may change my mind later, but not at the moment. I'm keeping Afghanistan. We like it here. I'm not just going to give it to a puppet. Now, gotta move those guys into position, then get my other Mongolian armies ready to attack them. Didn't lose much anyways. Our stability is back up to full now. Added to humanity, we'll need more research. I'm going to give this particular line a rest for now, I think. And we'll move on to the Eastern security side of things. In the Far East, there are mortal threats to the Soviet state. namely Japan, what the fuck is that? And its ever-expanding co-prosperity sphere, and the Khanate of Mongolia. We can use our vast network of connections, or the might of the Red Army to change the political landscape in our favor. That is what we will do. Of course, this may inevitably lead to a conflict with the Japanese, but whatever. And it will be 1939 soon, so I'm going to research the medium tank a bit ahead of time, I think. These guys can just move into position. Then I get a battle plan set up with all my forces to attack Mongolia. I may also move one of my armies off of the border that we have with the Ottomans, because there's not actually any significant threat of an Ottoman invasion at this point. If one turns up again, I can always divert forces, but we don't need that right now. Or I could pull my army off the border with Finland. That's also an option. As I predicted, Germany is busy raffle-stomping Lithuania. And we have a civil war in Greece between communists and non-communists. Hopefully the communists win that, but they're fairly small, so unless they can strike out and grab a lot of territory very quickly, I don't think they have a very good chance of lasting a long time in that. Yes, I'm going to start setting up my battle plans with Mongolia soon, but I need one of these armies. Actually, I might wait on that and just assess things before I decide to pull my forces off another front. If they're not needed, then no reason to do so, I guess. Bulgaria is allied with Germany. Lovely. Just what we didn't want. Another bloody German ally. Wonderful. Absolutely freaking wonderful. About to hit 1939, also, meaning the war in Europe will probably kick off soon. So it might actually be a good idea to instead move those forces to the German border, so I can use them to attack one of these guys. If Germany starts losing, and I just noticed something. Finland does not have their independence guaranteed by Germany. And they're not in a faction. Maybe I should just justify against Finland. Put those two armies down there on the Finnish border and storm right in and conquer Finland. I mean, sure, there's this thing under Soviet Europe for getting Finland, But this would be a lot faster, and wouldn't potentially trigger them joining a faction if I do it soon enough. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Just reassign these guys. And move on to do that. Two of you get rid of that. And get you set up for a war with the Finns. I'll start fabricating once everyone's into position. You can take position there as well. That army I'm actually going to give to him. Just so they're all coordinated together. And let's set up our battle lines here. Also going to have quite an advantage with doing this, in that I will be using 3 armies rather than just 1 once we eventually do attack Finland. Computing machine is done. Let's move on down to decryption so we can actually see the forces our enemy is using. Move down in speed as well. To speed number 1. And we are now into 1939 on the 1st of January. But I have now been going with this stream for just slightly over 2 hours. I think we've reached a good natural stopping point, with it being 1939 and me getting ready to go into a war with Finland rather soon. I think we're at a good stopping point, so I'm going to end this stream here. This has been Dark Phoenix Gaming, and you've been watching my Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich livestream. If you've enjoyed this, then please leave a like. Oh, sorry, I'm in YouTube mindset there for a second. Let's start that over. If you've enjoyed this, please follow my channel so you can catch my future streams, and if you want to find the VOD to this stream because you only caught part of it, or you just want to see it in higher quality, then check it out on my YouTube channel, Dark Phoenix Gaming, over on YouTube. Links in the doobly-doo down below. And you can also find my YouTube exclusive series over there as well. So maybe check those out also. In any case, thank you very much for watching. And if you want to catch another one of my live streams, I have my scheduled times listed below this, but I stream on Saturdays and Sundays at 1 PM, barring any significant real-life interruptions. So you should find me streaming at those times. And at the moment, it's Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich on Saturdays, and Crusader Kings 2 as Viking Pagans on Sundays. So maybe check me out for one of those as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. So long, everybody.